Welcome to Bad Dice, the UK's first Warhammer Fantasy Battle podcast. We bring you news, reviews and updates from all around the UK tournament scene. Your hosts are Ben Curry and Ben Johnson. We hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, be sure to let us know. You can contact us on thebens@baddice.co.uk or leave a positive review on iTunes. Okay, so we're back. Episode 23 this time round. Bad Dice Podcast is me, Ben Curry.
And there's me, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, Alpha Sleep, and Curry's mouth again.
Sorry.
Okay, so this episode, we've got an episode of sponsors. Ian Scovell from Bristol Biggins is basically sponsored an episode so we can give a shout out about the tournament they're running. We're going to cover that in more detail later, but for now, thanks to Ian for sponsoring an episode.
Cheers, Ian.
We're going to give a shout out to our permanent sponsors of Odd Games and Irresistible Force. Odd Games are sponsoring the shows. They've been on for the last 10 or so now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been on a while.
Supporting us because they like what we do and they want us to give them a shout out about their the web store and that sort of stuff. So check out oddgames.co.uk. You can also go on the forums, which is oddforum.co.uk. They sell all kinds of Games Workshop products. They're 10% off, is it?
At least.
Yeah, around 10% off all the Games Workshop stuff. They stock Fantasy Flight games, a few different board games.
Free delivery if you're in London.
Free delivery in the UK, and they can also post worldwide as well now. So yeah, check them boys out. They're a good bunch of guys who will come up to see us for the Destruction Derby in 2 weeks' time. So that should be a giggle.
Yeah, 2 weeks away. That's unreal.
Supplying the prizes for that as well. So they're a good bunch of lads. Check them out. oddgames.co.uk. Them guys have also got a competition running, which is if you spend £5 in the store, or if you sign up to the Snake Eyes section, you get entered into a prize draw to win Chaos in the Old World, which is the board game from Fantasy Flight Games.
That was still not played.
No, still not played. And to be honest, I can't see when I'm going to get a chance.
No, I can't either.
There's got a copy of it in Bugman's, and every time I go in, I think, I should play that, and we never get around to it.
Well, no, the problem there is there's a bar.
Yeah, well, we can
and
the
Warhammer
bar,
tables.
getting leathered. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Hmm.
Okay, so Irresistible Force are our other sponsors. These are the guys that help us out with the rankings. We submit the results. They
fill them in.
They rank them.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out irresistibleforce.co.uk. Another web store based in Australia. These guys are. So moving swiftly on, I think we're going to cover a bit of news.
Yes.
There's not been an awful lot.
No.
And White Dwarf hasn't come.
No, White Dwarf seems to be strangely late. I don't know why.
It was last month as well, wasn't it?
But last month was Postal Strikes.
Yeah. Well, there's no postal strikes this month. I
No.
still haven't got it, and it's the 23rd today.
23rd today,
like
yeah.
And it normally comes on about the 19th, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So
Yeah, I was expecting it last Thursday, Friday, but no White Dwarf.
Okay, so no White Dwarf for this episode, but what we do have is some news off the web. Avatars of War have released a new figure, and it's a Minotaur Lord or something like a Doom Bull. Basically, it's a big badass Minotaur. Looks like it's running forward with a big double-handed axe in its hand.
I think it looks like it's falling over.
See, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
You're a miserable bugger, though.
No, it's just not my cup of tea. I mean,
yeah.
No wrong with that.
No, fair enough. Miserable bugger.
Fucked.
So the other things that's out are the Games Day model.
Yes.
Now they sent out an email with this, didn't they, on the newsletter?
Yeah, it's not a Beastman, according to some people.
Oh yeah, Podhammer. Straight in. New Beastman released. No. Jeff Carroll needs to learn what he's talking about.
Yeah, it does a bit. That one, I'm not that keen on that either, to be honest. I'm not sure on the pose. And
See, I really, really like it.
He's got little dumpy fingers as well.
I really like it. It just looks proper chaosy to me.
He looks very chaosy.
He's got both his hands up. He's got an eye in one hand. He's got like a big fat belt with Marquezine on it and all that. It looks really good, and the painting on it's nice as well. But you're not sold?
No, not sold. Same as the Lord of Change as well. Pictures of that, painted that, has come out.
Did you see the scale photos?
Yes.
How cool are they?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, it's twice the size of the Keeper's Secret.
Yeah, it's massive. It's taller than the Bloodthirster. But again, the pose on it just seems to be off. I don't know.
It just doesn't. It just looks too much model and not enough. It doesn't
Yeah,
look like it's doing anything. The wings are just too big and dull, and
The wings are somewhat plain. And he's pointing. He's holding his staff and pointing.
with the same hand.
With the same hand, which
Yeah,
it's never a good look, I don't think.
no. And he's got that weird horror ball.
I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the model. I'm just not sure I like it enough to drop 130 quid on it.
Is that how much it
That's
is?
how much it is, yeah.
Well, fair enough. It's
Which, to be honest, is it that much? 130 quid? It's a lot of money. But
it's enough for
it's a lot of model you're getting.
it's enough for one model into.
Yeah.
No, I'm not keen on it. Mainly because of the scale of the damn thing. It's just so unusable.
You could use it.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah,
You couldn't use it at a tournament.
Yeah, you could.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You gonna? Maybe.
Probably not.
Do you know how high it stands?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It's about a foot high off the table, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Have you seen my wyvern?
Yeah, but the thing with your wyvern is it all goes into a 50mm base, whereas the Lord of Change won't.
Oh, it would. I've got a plan.
What? Put it on a rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on
maybe.
some floating stones.
Or have it walking up a staircase, which starts off on one rock and goes up. Okay, so more from Games Workshop news. We've got the Beastman Army book, and it is called Beastman.
Yeah.
It's not Beast of Chaos. That's penciled in for a February release, and you can buy it on advanced order now.
Oh, can you buy it on advanced order?
Well, some of the web stores have got it. I don't know if the Games
Oh,
Workshop site
right,
has,
okay.
but I know you can order it on Odd Games website now. So yeah, February Beastman Army.
Apparently as well. Well, according to the email that GW sent out, they get their own law.
Law of Beasts.
Law of Beasts.
Is there not one of them already?
I think so. Could get confusing that. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. It'd be good to see what they do with the stuff. I mean, the rumours that we've been hearing on the net and that, obviously, the rumours off the
Yeah.
net. They've got little pixies and giant
I
frogs
was
and all
listening
sorts
to
of stuff,
several drunken conversations at the GT at the weekend of people's thoughts and what's going to be in the Beastman book, what's not going to be in the Beastman book, etc. etc.
Word on the street is another large target, isn't it? With what is it, a gorgon or something like a bigger than a shadow.
Would you be surprised? Would you be surprised looking
No.
at the way
Yeah,
the last two books have been lizards and Skaven?
yeah.
Look at the
Stegon's
plastic
Abomination.
kits that have come out for them. Wouldn't be shocked to see another big Beastman plastic kit.
No.
It'd be great.
Yeah, brilliant. More Games Workshop news is Games Days. Golden Demons, Australia and Italy. Photos are now on the Games Workshop website. I don't know actually when these Golden Demons were,
No.
but the photos are just surfacing on the web, and there's some fantastic stuff, particularly on the Italian one.
Little buggers.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
No. Now in other news.
It's not really Toy Soldier related.
No,
however,
I've been going through the net and looking at news to bring to the listeners, and we found these two random ones. First off, there's Wigan vs Spurs at the weekend, just for the English listeners. So if you're a foreign listener, you probably won't understand, but it's Wigan Athletic versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Played the football match of the weekend. Was it Sunday? Or
yes, it was. Sunday.
Spurs won 9-1.
Bear in mind as well that Wigan were only losing 1-0 at half time.
1-0 at half time.
Yeah.
Spurs came out after the break and scored 9 goals. 9 fucking goals in 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Defoe got 5 of them.
Yeah. Now the best bit is, okay, so the Wigan team, quite well played football stars, all Premier League,
Yeah.
in big wage packets, a bit embarrassed by this. So they've offered to give the money back to the 700 travelling Wigan fans that went up to see them.
Well, I think
You
that's
can
the
be
least
embar-
they can do, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can be embarrassed, wouldn't you?
You'd be a bit, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So that was just a bit of funny news I found.
Do you reckon that you get your beer money and everything back?
You'd want it, wouldn't you?
Because if you just lost 9-1 and you're out in London town, you're going to spend some money on beer, aren't you?
Yeah, of course you are.
I wonder
You're
if you
going to
get
get
that back.
battered.
I wonder if they need receipts.
Now the other bit of funny news I found, now it isn't all that funny, but it made me chuckle. Some poor bloke, his photo of him in an hospital bed looking all mauled, which is normally quite bad, but this one, it was quite good. Apparently he was out walking his dog, near Melbourne in Australia, and the dog went off chasing a kangaroo. So the kangaroo went bouncing off into a pond. The dog thought he was all clever chasing him in, and as soon as he got in the water, kangaroo turned around and pinned the dog under the water. So he's obviously done this before. Makes a habit of drowning dogs.
He's got a technique and everything.
Yeah, so this bloke went chasing the dog into the pond to try and get the kangaroo off him. Kangaroo beat the fucking shit out of him.
You've never seen him in cartoons though, when they got boxing gloves.
Yeah,
on.
you know what I mean? This one didn't have boxing gloves on, just ripped him apart with his claws. No messing. So that's enough news. So
maybe these Australian folks aren't as pussies as we think they are.
No.
All these fighting kangaroos
tough,
they have to
big
beat off.
Kangaroo fighters. So that's a bit of news. We've not got much Games Workshop news, so we'll chuck some other random shit in.
Dear.
Now we're gonna do a fortnight of fantasy now, I think. Yeah, it looks about right.
Oh God, it's going to be one of them episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. It'll be a good episode. So I've been doing quite a bit this fortnight.
You've been doing quite a bit.
Yeah, you've been doing a bit more. But,
Yeah.
So it makes a change because the last few we've been saying, oh, not done much. But no, we've done plenty. Do you want to get started?
You can do. So, when did we record that?
Well, last episode was the Monday night after the GT.
That was right, yeah. So, Tuesday night, I went off playing Warhammer.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to Warhammer World and I played my brother. Used the Empire Army for the first time. It was fun actually. I've been quite enjoying that. So
Yeah.
I played his demons. Yeah, pretty much a standard demon list, but he was using a keeper.
A lot of change.
A lot of change instead of Bloodthirster. Everything else was pretty similar. Using a dice cap for the ETC type comp, which seems to be quite common nowadays, and basically beat myself really. Figured out that when the steam tank starts getting a bit hurt and it's in combat, don't try and grind.
Just leave it there.
Just leave it there. They flanked it with some flash hands and was doing, a wound every other turn or something like that. And I kept trying to grind him, kept failing, taking another wound, and in the end, he killed it on turn 6. So if I'd have not done anything, tried to grind, I'd have saved myself 3 or 4 wounds and been alive, and he wouldn't have got any points. And stop playing with that fucking pen.
I can't help it. It's Pudsey.
Right,
It's
give me the pen.
Children in need.
Go on.
Oh no.
Sorted.
It's children in need pen. You got to support the children in need.
I did. I paid my pen.
Yeah, fair enough. Carry on. Sorry for this.
After that, it doesn't matter. So in the end, that was I lost by 257 points, which was an 11-9 win to Lewis.
Yeah.
Under the ETC. That's about it, really. Worked quite well. That Pegasus dude was great. Yeah, scared the piss out of him. He kept flying up trying to nick Buna Zinch.
How'd you find the cannons? Having some cannons in the army.
Good. I like them.
See, I used an Empire army.
It frightens people.
Yeah, I must have used one 5 or 6 years ago, before I started doing tournaments, and they were fun then. But
Yeah.
I've never used them in tournament. Since been doing tournaments, I've not used them. Not used
No,
any
no,
of the machines other than bolt throwers.
First time I've ever. Well, it's not the first time I've ever used cannons. I had a dwarf army again 5-6 years ago back in the day, and yeah, no, they were good. And it's amazed how frightening they are to your opponent.
Yeah,
Really are. I mean, he was petrified of his Lord of Change getting hit by a cannon.
you would be.
Well, yeah.
You're only 5 ward.
Yeah.
5 wounds.
Sniped his. I tried to snipe his Khorne Juggernaut and blew up. That was a pain in the arse. War Ultra as well. That's just.
Do you like it?
Yeah. Sort of fate. The
Yeah.
Talk War thing.
So you just nominate his...
The big keep offside.
Yeah.
Come near me and I'm gonna fucking hurt you. It's great.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that game. And like I say, if I'd not killed the steam tank, it'd have been a 10-10 because we were playing that you got 150 points for half wounding it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, a lot of tournaments play that, and might as well get into the swing of it from the start, aren't you? Really? So, yeah.
Fair enough. Any more?
Oh,
How many
yes.
games did you play?
7.
7 games.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, as well as doing 2 GTs.
Yeah.
You're
No.
hardcore.
1 GT and a practice weekend.
You've ref 2.
Not since we were
Oh,
last
yeah,
recorded.
okay, yeah.
So
Oh,
2
yeah.
of my games are practice day
See, I
games.
Facebooked you about this, didn't I?
I did.
Ben J's hardcore.
Yeah.
Played tonight, played tomorrow night, playing Thursday night, playing all weekend.
Yeah. About right.
Okay, what next?
I played Gav at Derby with his lizard men.
This was Thursday night, yeah?
This was Thursday night. In fact, I tweeted a lot of this.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah, there's photos of Gav's army and you playing against it on Twitter.
That's right, yeah. Again, Stegodon, Slan, Temple Guard. The rest of it was basically skinks.
He didn't fancy the cannons neither, did he?
He did not fancy the cannons, no, not at all. But again, 2 cannons plus a steam tank. Man, I'm not sure about shooting a steam tank cannon.
No.
Do you know what I mean? If you miss
Stupid.
fire, it's D3 wounds, it makes a bit of a...
Take your steam tank out of the game.
Yeah, and it also, as well, it's 2 steam points to do it, so it's basically all you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So all I did with the steam tank was just point it at his Temple Guard and go,
Drive.
get him. Which meant then he had to sacrifice skinks and things like that to slow it down. Cannons got the engine in the end, and it was a 1,000-point win.
Big win then.
Big win, yeah. 1,400 played 500, so actually no, 980-point win, which I was quite pleased with. Managed to keep the Slan under control again because he couldn't really come out.
He put the slam out at the back of the board in the opposite corner, didn't he?
Yeah, again.
And just went for heavens.
Yeah, went for heavens, tried to just comet and lightning stuff. I mean, he got comet off once, it didn't come down, and everything just went run.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Yeah, so the handgunners and all that got out of the way. I think he got a couple of the cannons. He got one of the cannons with the comet. Yeah, and the pterodons as well, a bit of a pain in the bum, but not too bad.
No.
Got 1 unit in the first turn with a cannonball. Aimed for his steg because there was nowhere he could put the steg where at least one cannon couldn't see him. So he shot and it went through 2 skinks, through a pterodon, through the steg. Killed the pterodon and rolled a 1 to... Oh no, killed the pterodon and really killed a crewman. Proper dead. Which is a bit frustrating. Rolled a 5. Of all things to roll, 5.
Yeah.
So he missed the priest, he missed the steg.
Annoying.
But oh well. But yeah, no, that was a big win. And then we had the ETC practice day, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you play anything before that?
No, I don't think I did. I mean, I was playing at the GT, so I was a bit after 9 games in 3 days. I was a bit warmed out, so I didn't play any that week. I'm trying to think what I did. I went to see Green Day. That's why Tuesday night when you went.
Yeah, that's right.
You played Lewis on the Tuesday at
Yeah.
Warhammer World. I went to see Green Day at NEC, I think it was. Yeah, the NEC. So no, nothing for me that week. However, on the Sunday, yeah, I got a couple of games in. I used my Dark Elves for change.
So this was at the ETC practice weekend.
ETC,
Practice day, sorry.
Yeah, we just got together, didn't we?
Yeah, we got together
All the
at Derby,
hopefuls
didn't
for
we?
the England team and just played some Warhammer basically to get team bonding session. I played Adam Turner. He used a vampire count army. He had a bit of this, bit of that. You know, it is with vampires. You know, wraiths, loads of ghouls. And he'd gone for the big Drakenhof Knight.
The fun bus.
First couple of turns is a bit cagey, flying around with his bats. Gone for big units of bats, so he didn't have to keep them near to his casters.
Yeah.
And because they start big, they should be able to.
2 of the chaps at the weekend did that, didn't
Yeah.
they? And did quite well with it, with units of bats in 5s and 6s rather than like 2 3s.
Yeah.
Means you don't have to rely on getting the cast on them.
I was quite worried about them. I thought they could have caused me some problems, but one unit he sort of cleared off onto one flank, so it didn't really cause me an issue. The other unit, he put screen in his fun bus, and I managed to kill the bat unit in one round with magic and shooting.
Yeah.
So next turn he was there with his night unit, and he could either rush it forward or hold it back. And in the end, he chose to charge off some harpies because I was march blocking him anyway. He thought, well, I might as well get rid of him and go that direction.
The Black Knights or Blood Knights?
Black Knights. So I ran a unit crossbow up behind a hill to march block him, and I thought, well, I'll just unleash the hell on him with the rest of my army.
Dark in the Skies.
Thinking I should be able to drop him down to about half the unit, and then if he wants to raise into him, he's not raising the ghouls and zombies. But I got a double 6 on Spirit of the Forge and killed all the knights in one go with a level 2 wizard. So I had it twice. I had it on my level 4, I had it on my level 2. So it was 2 attempts to Spirit of the Forge on 5 dice. Ooh. Sorry, 4 dice, twice a turn, which is a bit rough. And as soon as the double 6 went in, 9 hits, 8 dead knights.
Even then, it's going off, isn't it?
No, the only downside of it was I probably did it a turn too early.
Okay.
If I did it a turn later, I think he'd have been overcommitted, and
Yeah.
it'd have been cleaning up exercise after that. But because it happened just that turn earlier, he could still get his characters back into his goals, and
Yeah.
then he bunkered up, and I
Yeah.
didn't get any more points off him, to be honest. It was 15-5 to win it to me in the end. Vampires. Bought a vampire army.
I know. I've seen.
Yeah, we've had it out tonight.
Yeah.
I've one of the guys we know. It's Mike Andrews.
Little Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah, little Mike off the forums. He was selling a vampire army. Well, just got fed up with him, wanted rid of it. So he just said, "Oh, quick sale, 80 quid." So I was like, bit his hand off, and
Bit his hand off. Pulled his arm off.
pulled his arm off, took the figures, and
He's
apparently
only a kid.
I got a free figure case and an army book thrown in. He just didn't like the army at all. He's like, yeah, take the lot. So I'm well happy. 60 ghouls, 75 zombies, 10 wraiths, unit of black knights, dire wolves, load of characters. Just need some fellbats now, and I've got an army sorted. Then I need to paint it.
I've got some upstairs.
So yeah, we've got another army to get some practice games in with.
Yeah.
So it's all good. So what was your first game at the?
I played Dan Elam with his Lizardmen in only my third game with the Empire, and was told, "This is a really good draw for you. You should smash him." Okay. Again, cannons, stegodons, hide.
Yeah, don't like it, do
No,
you?
don't like it at all. Which was good and a bad thing, really. I mean, it meant that obviously he wasn't coming out. It also meant I wasn't scoring a lot of points. It basically almost everything hid. The cannons got a few shots off at Saurus, at Slan. To be honest, I assumed that Slan was going to be ethereal, and it turned out it wasn't.
So he wasn't shooting it.
Well, no, because I was thinking it's got to be ethereal. He's not going to plonk it out there. And I thought, you know what I'm better off doing is shooting through his unit, get as many Saurus as I can. If I get a good hit, got panic test.
Instead of going for the lookout.
Instead of going for the lookout, sir. Not entirely sure what the odds are. Even if he wasn't ethereal, you know, he gets to look at. Then you don't hit as many Saurus. He gets to 4 at ward. You then D6 wounds. You're not nailed on to kill him. So I don't know.
You thinking just keep power driving the
Just
Saurus?
keep power driving the Saurus. It also means if we keep power driving the Saurus, sooner or later he's going to run out of places to hide. Lose his lookout, sir, and also then the knights can go in and make knights and Alton go in and make quick work of the Saurus.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out that way. Well,
No.
it kind of did. Got rid of his Saurus. He nearly made a big mistake of blocking his Stegodon charge with his Slan, trying to get the Slan out of the way. But then, I don't know if he realised it or just changed his mind and moved the Slan back. And I was like, crap. Because the Ultra had gone into one of his mounted Scarvets, and obviously had to overrun because of the hatred. And I thought, no, that stake's just going to slam into the side of him.
Did you have the Sword of Fate on him again?
Yeah.
What did you?
His BSB,
Yeah.
which was which I knew he'd put in one of the. He had BSB mounted and a regular mounted Scarvet, and I figured I'd do the BSB because choice of either of them really, and I just picked the BSB. I figured it'd be worth more points. That was the only real thinking behind that. Went into the unit. BSB refused a challenge. Impact hits and a few attacks. Got rid of enough Saurus because it already took a few casualties from the cannons, so that the BSB had nowhere to refuse to, and got hacked to bits.
Did you get through the armour?
Is it not no armor save? Sword of Fate?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Always wins on a 2 no armor save, D3 wins against that
Is that what it said?
particular person.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know. I can't remember, but it killed him anyway. I can't remember if he took an armor save or if he didn't.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Pulling faces.
I can't remember.
Might not be no armour save. We'll check that in a bit.
I don't know, to be brutally honest. But anyway, he died. No, maybe he did fail an armor save. I don't know.
Either way,
he died.
Smeared him up the wall.
Yeah, and then overran into the other Scarvet, which he placed in front, and then
He'd done it to dodge up for a few rounds.
he couldn't really get it anywhere else, and yeah. So,
Fair enough.
but that was 10-10 in the end. I lost by 250, which not the best best result really, because again it should be quite a good.
Only had 3 games. With
Only
the
had 3
Army,
games with the Empire.
Dan's played that match up 100 times.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I was not disappointed with it. It was a good game to play because it did show me that the Empire this can do a lot.
Yeah, it's a
what
good
I mean?
list.
It can really can do a lot.
It can do everything, especially when you trick it out.
Yeah. So the second game, I got Russ the Face with his Tomb Kings, and you don't ever want to play Tomb Kings with an Empire army.
Don't you?
This is what I've discovered. Having not played either of them very much. Fucking hell, Scorpions and catapult shooting twice.
Yeah,
Hard work.
and then a flare of skulls on the king going
really
booming
hard
you.
work. Yeah.
Chariots going through your knights and all that sort of.
Chariots going through everything.
Yeah.
And even the crossbows and the outriders, you just can't. Russ had them in 4s.
Yeah, can't shoot them.
You can't shoot them. You can't. Well, you can.
Unless you get a cannon to flank.
Yeah, but you can. You can shoot 2 of them, but then 2 of them go through you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a difficult one. I didn't write anything down. Just loss.
Oh dear.
Bad. It was 20-0. I mean, we didn't even add it up, but it was a 20-0.
Yeah, just dead Empire everywhere.
Just dead
Tomb
Empire,
Kings all over
yeah,
the place.
Yeah.
End of the game. There's a couple of men alive, and then there's Tomb Kings everywhere.
I think at the end of the game, there was a steam tank, a unit of outriders, and possibly the Pegasus dude without his Pegasus in a wood going, holy crap.
Oh shit! There's undead everywhere.
Yeah.
It's undead. It's
Yeah.
coming to get me.
Yeah. So that
Wasn't pretty.
Wasn't pretty.
You fancy your chances if you play it a few times, or do you think it's
I
going to hide in every time?
did learn quite a lot of how to. I didn't think of shielding the cannons particularly well from the Scorpions and from the Carrion.
Carrying.
That was the biggest one, the Carrion.
Did he have 2 units carrying?
No, I only have 1 unit
Yeah.
Carrion, but again, move.
Yeah, they go in, don't they?
They go.
But
Yeah,
it's also a case of, because your cannons are so valuable, it's every turn he's casting a spell they have to stop, and you
yeah.
can't.
Well, it was turn 1, and it's like I've not even shot the damn things yet. So it's move, dice, scroll, and then you're out of scrolls in
Yeah.
turn 1. I mean, the cannons were particularly poor. I've got to be honest. Rolling, guessing okay, and then 2-2,
Yeah,
or guessing okay and 10.
yeah.
But that happens, doesn't it? But yeah, I did learn a lot. So I'd like to think that if I played Tomb Kings again, it wouldn't be 20-0.
No.
Might be 18-2, but
Yeah,
still.
well, I'll have mine soon. We can give it a whirl.
Getting there.
Okay, so my other game was against Adam Hall. So we'd played on the Saturday night at the GT. Now, to be honest, I think, looking back at it, I think I played Adam Hall first and Adam Turner second. So, but yeah, Adam Hall was
Yes, you did.
scathing.
You did.
So I had my Dark Elves again, magic and shooting, and he'd gone for...
Did you use the same list in both games?
yeah, I did. Yeah. Pretty much used the same list I used against Adam at the GT on Saturday night as well.
Oh yeah.
And Adam, I think, used something a bit different. He went for more of a gun line type Skaven army with less toys and more guns and magic. He had 11 or 12 power dice, and the idea of that is, even though he was capped at 9, he could pick and choose the 9 dice he used. A bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
He had the brass orb, which killed my Hydra later on in the game when I thought I'd got his characters surrounded. He just killed the Hydra with the brass orb, which is like, fucking hell.
What was that? Skill leap and then...
No, he was in the unit.
Just in the
Because
unit.
I'd gone to put the pressure on, he just threw the brass orb at me and made me go away.
Oh, they're coming!
Yeah. He had a couple of units of Jezzails, which he started off by hiding behind a hill, and I thought, right, I'm just never going to get the points for them. And then once he thought it was going well, he moved 1 unit onto a hill, and I was like, right, Storm Banners ended, daka. Bolt throws, shot them, panicked them into the table edge, which they destroyed on the table edge, panicked the other unit, which also ran off the table. So there was 300 points straight away.
So Jezzail's still got the same issues they did have in the old book.
And it's even worse now because it's harder to put them in a position where they can be safe and then move to a good firing position later in the game.
Yeah, of course, because they've lost the skirmish, haven't they?
Yeah, they can't skirmish, so they've got to move and wheel like a normal unit.
Yeah.
What else happened? He didn't roll great for his spells. He didn't get Scorch, which is always a nasty one.
That's a good spell, that.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but he had Warp Lightning 3 times, and that I made a mistake first turn. I should have moved. He got first turn. I won the roll for first turn, made him go first. He bombed his abomination at me, a 17 inches, and he's like, "Oh crap! I didn't want to go that far." But then it was a short range from a shades turn 1, so we had to storm banner turn 1,
Yeah.
and I should have moved my shades back because it would have stopped him magicking me.
Yeah.
On deployment, this is, I should have deployed them deeper, but I didn't for some reason. Everything else went really deep, and then the shades went on like 10 inches in for some, I don't know, that was a mistake. So I lost most of one shade unit straight away, and then it panicked and cleared off through a wood or something. It's a bit ridiculous, but the abomination just wouldn't die. All game shooting and magic in it. I think it was 5 turns.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't go down.
Well,
Eventually
the
it went
one
down.
the one game I played against it, it wouldn't die.
Eventually it went down, turned into rats, which got a table quarter and killed a unit of archers, which was rubbish. I think in the end that one was a draw. I might have snuck an 11-9 there, but it was very close. And again, Skaven, tough nut to crack. He had like 6 units of slaves.
Yeah.
They're just everywhere.
Slave spam.
And to be fair, the Hydra went in, broke 1 unit, and the rest of it all just ran off, even on Leadership 10. Failed like three panic tests in one go with slaves, all on 10s. So that all cleared off.
A bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah. So that cleared all his chaff pretty
Do they
quick.
die when they panic?
No, they just flee. When they break
break
in
from
combat, they explode.
Yeah.
So this slave unit broke from combat, exploded, killed loads of slaves, killed a couple of censer bearers, and then because the slaves weren't there anymore, the censer bearers had to charge the Hydra, and I just munched them and killed more. The censer bearers have got issues. They're good, but they've skirmishing.
Frenzy. Movement 10 is no.
Especially if you've got a large target like that, they've got the movement to get around the units. It's hard to keep them safe.
Yeah.
So that was my game against Adam. Another go against a Skaven. I've got a few games, like 3-4 games in against him now. So yeah, getting.
I've only played the one. I could do again a few more in. Got to be honest.
Yeah, but I like Skaven.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be world beaters, but I do think they're good. Yeah, so it's solid.
I don't think we need another demon book, do we?
Yes, 100% yes.
What, another demon book?
Another demon or dark elf, something on par with them. Because if they keep releasing middle tier books, all well and good, then books are good. But then the dark elves and the demons will always be on top. If they release more top tier books, it won't take long, and they'll all be the same. Whereas now,
it does take long though, doesn't it? Because
really.
They don't release that many. You know.
They released 3 a year.
It takes them 5 years to.
Christ, other year they released 5, didn't they?
It takes them 5 years to go through all the books.
Nah, it's not going to take that long. Surely not. Look what happened last year. We had vampires, demons, dark elves, warriors, and lizards in 12 months. It's 5 books.
Well, lizards not this year.
February to February.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So it won't take them long to get through them. That's 3 year turnaround. Obviously they don't do 5 every year, but it won't take long.
I don't know.
Hell, we'll be looking on Warseer at rumours of the new Tomb King book.
Oh God, yeah.
And so if the rumours are on, then it's not just there's no.
That one that we've read there, that's just some dude.
It's just some wish list.
Well, if you did this and this, no. Well, maybe he's completely right. Maybe he's absolutely 100% right. I don't know. But
yeah.
I'd be very surprised.
Well, anyway, more games.
More games. Well,
you really played 7.
Yeah. Played Biggs. Played Michael Biggs. Demons versus Orcs. Again, using one of the proposed ETC. Can we talk about that? Is that all right?
Yeah, carry on.
Anyway, so
there's no secrets yet. We're trying everything.
One of the proposed ETC restrictions for next year, Band A versus Band D Orcs and Goblins. So the Orcs get 2,700 points. The Demons get 2,000 points. Everything the Demons kill is worth 20% less. Everything the Orcs kill is worth 10% less.
10% more.
10% more. Sorry. The theory behind that is if you wipe each other out to a man, you both get 250.
Yeah, the theory is it's like going through the army book and making all the demon stuff 10% more expensive and making all the orc stuff 20% cheaper.
Yeah.
In theory, I think it's not a bad principle.
Yeah, in theory. Again, we've spoken of this at length, haven't we? I don't think it changes orcs to be the best thing in the world. I think it helps them out.
Yeah, I don't think it stops demons from being hard neither.
No, I think it helps them out probably the most against demons.
Yeah.
Because there's such a low model count, no static res, and the big nasty things can be so vulnerable to a Rottlober, a Bolt Thrower, a Doom Diver.
Yeah. If you've got an Orc army with 2,700 points,
Yeah.
you get what, 4 units of boys.
Well, I had my usual 2,000 list, so it was the Wyvern, the BSB, the One Hit Wonder Man, a Scroll Caddy. I had 3 units of 25 boys, a unit of Black Orcs, 3 units of Fast Cav, 10 Squigs, 2 Bolt Throwers, a Rottlober, a Doom Diver, a Giant. That's it.
Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Biggs had a Kipper with Siren, the -2 leadership banner in a flying Tzeentch chariot, a 5 and a 6 flesh hounds, 2 horrors, flamers, furies. Did he have a fiend? Don't think he had a fiend. And a unit of demonettes.
Yeah, so it's pretty standard
Yeah,
demon list.
pretty
really.
standard. I don't.
So 3 core with double hour.
No, he
demon
didn't. He didn't have a fiend because we spoke about that afterwards. That if he had have done, it'd been a lot better. And I think that army, if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna try and beat that Orc army,
The leadership bombs. The way
the
to
leadership bomb, the Kipper, is probably about as good as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
We did speak that if you drop the 5 flamers, 5 flesh hounds for another unit of furies and a fiend, it'd be better.
Because the flesh hounds can't really do
The
much.
flesh hounds can't really
Going
do
into-
a lot, and then you've got another unit of 20-inch fast getting to the war machines.
And then going combo charging on the block.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
then
because the flesh hounds, as good as they are against everything, they're not that great against plus
They're not-
5 or 6
they're
combat.
not beating. They're not beating 25 orcs.
No, 4 save and toughness 4.
No, sooner or later you really fluff bad and you pop.
Yeah,
You know, you don't win the combats.
yeah.
You know, they're on 5. You've got to do 6 wounds to win by 1
With 10 attacks.
with 10 attacks.
Yeah, you can stick a character in as well.
And even if you do 6 wounds with 10 attacks, you know, you win by 1. Leadership 9 becomes 8 with a reroll.
Not going anywhere.
90% chance of staying.
Yeah.
So that was very, very cagey, very defensive. I just had a wall of boys basically, with night goblins. Oh, I knew the night goblins. Feel about them.
Yeah.
With 3 fanatics, then a hill with war machines on, and then a wall of boys with a building and a wood next to them. I put the 2 bolt throwers as far into the corners as I could of my deployment zones, just shooting across, knowing that if he, again, in such a low model count army, if he diverts something to try and get 40 points, he's going to do nothing else, which is fine. It also meant then that I had quite a good firing range, really. From
Yeah.
there was nowhere he couldn't hide from anything. Then he was going to get shot with something because he couldn't hide everything from the 2 bolt throwers on the flanks and the Doom Diver and Rottlober in the middle. I got first turn, got quite lucky, got a partial on the chariot which killed it, and partial on the herald which only did 1 wound, which was d6 wounds 1. Shame. But hey. And that was massive, really. That was massive. But that's the point. They've got the potential to do that, haven't they?
And you've got that many deployments that you're going to be able to get a line of sight somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Got the Kipper, a few wounds with the bolt thrower, so that then when he did go into, eventually charged him with night goblins.
You charge the Kipper.
I charged the Kipper, with night goblins. Well, he sirened in the Wyvern, and I had to put the night goblins in as well to challenge him out with the champion. He only did 1 wound to the champion, which was kind of funny.
Yeah. Was he get 6 attacks?
Yeah. Again, unlucky, but
Bit rough.
you know, it happens. And he popped. So,
Yeah.
and that in the end was a 12-8 win. I won by 331, which was basically the 20% difference.
Yeah.
You know, so that took it from what would have been a 10-10 to a 12-8, which I said at the time, you know, if you can take Orcs to the ETC and get 6 12-8s,
You'd be happy.
I think they should give you a trophy, to be honest. But yeah, so that was quite interesting, really. Quite a lot of food for thought, and obviously you took on a lot of it and turned it back to the
because
powers that be.
Yeah, I'm on the comp committee for the ETC, although feedback hasn't been good on the 2,700.
I think
we're still discussing it.
I think it does a lot for Orcs. I think it does nothing for Ogres. I can see the argument with that because
Right,
Or
I disagree there because it's still the same principles of
it's
you
still
get
the
more
same
units on the
principles.
table.
You do, yeah, but I don't think that another unit of balls or another unit of iron ingots is as useful as.
It's not just another unit of balls though. It means all the balls you've got are 20% cheaper.
Yeah, no, that I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I can see the point of what people are saying about 2700 makes no difference. I don't quite agree with that with the orcs, but I can see the point with the ogres because I don't think that extra 200 points when you've already got all your specials, all your rares, your characters.
Yeah, but then all your specials and all your rares get an extra man on each unit and make them a bit better.
But you can already really do that.
You can't.
In 2500.
You really can't. You can't get a load of iron guts and then 2 units of 4 yetis and a Vanos cav unit and all the rest. And if you do get all that, then you got 3 minimum size core units and then you're struggling for.
Well, yeah, maybe.
numbers.
I think it helps the orcs out more.
It does help the orcs a lot. It helps Dogs of War a lot as well.
Yeah.
Because they're another army with a lot. Basically, it helps people who can get more units in that can do damage without taking damage in return, which ogres can't because they've got everything the ogres do. They're always running the risk of taking damage back.
Yeah.
Whereas
they're a fighting army, aren't they?
yeah, basically, the armies that excel at the ETC are the ones that have a reward for no risk. So magic and shooting.
Dark elves.
Everything. All
Yeah.
the elves.
All the elves,
Empire,
lizards.
yeah. Even
Completely agree.
demons to some extent.
Completely agree.
So that it kind of turns orcs that way as well because it gives them more scope to have enough numbers to not take a lot of damage or enough numbers to be able to soak up the damage and then they can still get the firepower. I don't know. It's up for debate. We're still discussing it.
Again, like I said to you, they're orcs. They're not the best book in the world.
Yeah.
No amount of comp, tweaking, percentage this, percentage that, extra points there. It's going to change that.
No,
They're a lesser book.
I don't think so. No.
You know, the ogres are a lesser book. Simple as.
Yeah.
You know.
So, any more games?
Yeah, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Last Tuesday again, a friend of ours who was going to Heat 3 wanted a practice game, Martin. So I wandered on down to Warren World with the Empire and played his vampires. So I used my nice comped 9-power dice Empire army against his heinous raised death vampire army, and won by 278 points.
All right, you'll be happy about that then.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. His army's good though. His army's real good.
As we'll hear later.
Yeah. What did he have? He had.
See, I played this list. I know what he had.
He had a lord that knew all the spells with extra dice, level 3. Ninja BSB. Another just raising vampire.
Yeah, it's got a helm on him, hasn't he?
Helm on him, yeah, and a necromancer with a scroll and that else. Don't think he had a power. Well, he didn't use a power stone.
Fair enough.
He might have had one. 3 units of ghouls, unit of graveguard, no Drakenhof, obviously. Dogs. Do you have dogs? Yeah, 2 units of dogs, Vargulf, and 6 bats.
Yeah.
Which, like I said earlier, I think that is very good.
Start with a bigger.
Start with a bigger unit, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Not reliant on hiding them so they don't get shot before you can raise into them. You're not relying on them having to be near your caster, having to hide them somewhere near your caster, so it limits where you can put your casters, etc., etc. I like it. Martin went first, pushed it forward, pushed the bats forward. Almost was able to charge them first turn with a steam tank. However, the steam tank that I'm using, the silly boy who painted it has put it on a base that's just ridiculously huge. So by the time it had pivoted and moved, it as often as it sounds, it had gone too far around the angle to get in. And we worked it out afterwards as well that if you did it on a chariot base, because I think Adam's Doom Wheel and tried it with that, and just the chariot base could get in. What are you doing there?
Oh, I've got Andrew Glear calling. I'll have to decline him. We'll talk to him in a bit. You carry on, mate.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a shame. Couldn't get them in because that'd have been lovely. Kill all his bats into his lord next turn. But it wouldn't.
No.
It wouldn't go in, so it was a bit of a moot point, really. What else happened? I shot him a bit, cannoned him a bit, killed all his support stuff off, pinned the Vargulf with some knights. Wow, spirit from the altar. Got the altar into a small unit of ghouls, killed all of them. Shot another unit of ghouls, and then also shot the unit of ghouls with his vampire and his necromancer in, which helped. Meant that all he had left was then his lord, and he's gone all metal, so he was either raising or trying to cast Spirit of the Forge.
What do you think to go into that metal on the vampire?
Me and Mike spoke about it at the end, and I said, you needed to do it. Steam tank, war armor, 2 units of knights. How else do you stop the steam tank?
Yeah.
Other than raising up zombies, which gives me points.
Yeah, but 1 unit of zombies into the front of the steam tank, it's there forever. And it costs 50 points.
It's not there forever though, is it?
80 points.
Because if he's got to really roll 2 dice at it to get it off. If I let that off and then just stop the razors into it, you kill it in one go.
No, what I'm saying is, it doesn't have zombies in the army, does it?
No.
See, I'd go for zombies in a vampire army.
1 unit of them, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Just for steam tanks and
Yeah,
dark elves particularly.
Yeah.
Get your zombie line.
yeah. I agree. But he had to tap metal. He had to. Because he couldn't stop the steam tank otherwise. He really couldn't. Other than giving away units, which he didn't have many of. Ninja BSB, he's ace.
Yeah, he's a bit good. This is the
Yeah.
guy with Talisman of Lysini,
Yeah, BSB.
Flayed Halberg, BSB, Walking Death, so he's got +2 combat
Sword
rates.
Might.
And then a choice of magic weapons. Some people
Yeah.
like the Strength 6, other people like the Sword of Battle for the +1 attack.
Yeah,
So you've got 4 Strength 5 attacks, and then you give him Hatred.
yeah.
So it's
No,
pretty
he's good.
good. 225 points.
He ran into the unit of handgunners with a wizard in, smashed them up, overran, didn't quite get off the board. So the wizard in the other unit went, "Oi, that was my mate." Just
Zap.
zapped him.
What
He-
magic did it take? Light.
Light, yeah, both
Yeah.
of them took light. I was toying with, is it Heavens for the rerolls? Rerolls and lightning, but you're not guaranteed to get it.
No.
D6 strength 6
Yeah,
for both wizards.
Can't go wrong. And if you roll Cleansing Flare, once he gets in close.
Yeah, bonus. Well, I did. I got Cleansing Flare on one of them, and I got that. Is it Files Illumination that makes him have 3 attacks at strength 5? Waste of time.
Yeah.
That spell. So it was a good game. It was a good game, and in the end, all he had left was the Grave Guard with the Vampire Lord in, fighting a steam tank and a war armor, and that was it.
Alright, so.
But again, that's so many points.
Yeah.
That it was a draw. Well, only just a draw. I nearly won, but it was a draw.
Not enough.
Not enough, no.
Did you not play a scenario then? You just wanted to do pitch battle?
We did play a scenario. I can't remember what it was.
Looking at your victory points, there's no 400, so neither of you must have got them.
I can't remember.
You're not even wrote it down, neither have you?
No,
Oh no, number 5.
no, that was a game.
Alright, fair enough.
I think it was Breakthrough.
Yeah.
Played a lot of breakthroughs. Again, people.
Everyone wants to practice
Everyone
it.
wants to practice it, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Breakthrough we played. I can't remember if we did a secret mission though.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
I didn't write it down, so anyway.
So this was the Tuesday night. So on the Thursday, a couple of guys came over to the club.
That's
didn't
right,
they?
yeah.
It was Tom Maudsley and his mate Darren Palmer.
Yeah.
Basically want some practice for the heats again.
Yeah.
They're going to heat 3. They want some games in, so I ended up playing Tom.
So it was number 1 versus number 2.
Yeah, that's it. We vs Pooh. I used my Dragon Army from the heats, and Tom used pretty much magic and shooting like what we used last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he tweaked it a bit to make it more suited to the scenarios. So he'd gone 3 units of Dark Riders, 2 units of 7 Shades, at level 4, 2 level 2s, Rending Star Assassin, a Hydra, 2 Bolt Throwers. We deployed, and I put most of mine behind a hill on the left flank, all around the dragon. 1 unit of Dark Riders and 1 unit of Shades on the right. And he'd got a big wood just at the edge of the deployment zone, so most of his stuff had gone around there, his wizards and that. His Dark Riders either side of it, Bolt Throwers deep on the left flank opposite where my dragon was. because he had more deployments than me, because I had 4 units of shades. So he won the first turn and had to take it because he wanted to clear a unit of shades off, because otherwise I'd have got in the building, started shooting at his wizards. But he wanted to keep his wizard alive, but it didn't really help much because he ended up moving them forward anyway. So first turn I came out with the dragon, almost shooting, and took a unit of Dark Riders off and killed the wizard that was hiding in the unit as well. So that was the one with 3 spells and a life taker down on turn 1. So I was quite chuffed then. It's like, oh, I'm up here. It's gonna be, he's going to struggle now.
That was very similar to when we played at Teesside.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what happened with my BSB. I remember putting my BSB in front of his Hydra, and I think he went round it and avoided it.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting an overrun from the Hydra into something. His Hydra ended up in the side of my dragon, which I wasn't too fussed about. I can't remember what happened there. I think he charged some harpies or something. No, that was it. He broke he charged my BSB, that was it. I put my BSB in front of him to hold him there, and he charged him and broke him. He did a wound, I did nothing back, he broke me. I cleared off and got away, but he got the overrun into the side of the dragon and nearly took the rider off the top in the first round, which I thought, fucking hell, he did 4 wounds to him. And
it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, well, obviously regen on him, so I saved half of them, so I survived on a wound. Did a load of wounds, did 3 wounds back to the Hydra. Next round, my rider goes first, doesn't kill the Hydra. Handlers go next, kill my rider. And then the dragon goes and finishes the Hydra, breaks the handlers. Passed me on monster reaction test, so he's still a threat. And then I was over the wood and into his bolt throws, so it wasn't too much of a problem. Then turn after, I went through both of them. That was them sorted out. But his magic, and he kept getting it through. He didn't miss cast because of the ring, which fair enough. He kept casting on 2 dice, so it wasn't going to. But fucking psychology tests were just a nightmare. Everything ran off and then didn't rally. A load of I think 3 units ran off in panic. 1 unit hit the table edge and died, and another 2 units ran off because of that. So it was just bad times. And in the end, it ended up a draw just because he took the Lord off the top of the dragon.
Whoa. When you say a draw.
A draw.
When you say a draw.
I think Tom won by 100, 200 points.
Tom won.
No.
So number 2 be number 1.
No. It's a draw.
Wow.
It was a draw.
I'll refer you back to the Bobo incident. If a football team scores 200 more goals than the other, some would say they smashed them.
Yes, but football's not Warhammer.
Nearly was at the weekend.
9 goals to 1. That Warhammer games with less points than that scored.
Did at the GT.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a draw. It was a strange game because
Tom won.
It was a fuck off. It was basically tit for tat, and my little shit unit shooting his little shit unit.
Did you play a scenario in that one, or did you just?
We played. I think we just played pitch battle, and we went for. I think both of us got scenarios. Yeah, we did. We both got scenarios. Yeah. Can't remember. I went for hills. I think he went for woods. We might go for special and rare. No, that was it. He went for most expensive because he knew I had 2 hydras, and he killed them both. Oh, that was a point. Both hydras. 1 man is shooting on both.
Mm-hmm.
1 dead. Next round, next one dead. 2 bolt throwers, 2 units of Dark Riders.
Hey?
Yeah. 1 man, drop 1 hydra. Next round, drop the next hydra.
That shouldn't happen.
No. Both times, single bolted 3 wounds.
Oh.
Both times he went multiple shot and did nothing, and single bolt, 3 wounds, regen failed, dead. Well, other way around, regen failed, then 3 wounds, dead. And it's both hydras like, oh, fucking hell, it's 350 points gone. Then stupid stuff like a unit of harpies going to a bolt thrower crew in making 3 armour saves. On 6.
On the 6.
2 in 1 man and 1 in the next. And both times killing 1 harpy so I don't beat him by the outnumber. It's just one of those games. Things seem to go bad. But well, it was a good game. It was good to see some guys coming down.
Yeah, it was.
Travelling down. And you played Darren, didn't you?
I played Darren, yeah, I played his mate. He was full of cold and probably really shouldn't have been there. Probably should have been tucked up in bed. They're saying he was going to be away all weekend drinking beer. But he came down and he brought his demon horror horde army.
Yeah, Tom says to me, It's a shit army, and he's going to do shit with it. So, full of confidence for him then.
Yeah, it wasn't a shit army. It was a shit army considered the scenarios, because he had 2 units of 5 flesh hounds, 3 units of, I think, 26s of horrors. One had 27, so it was the most expensive. 2 heralds, one that was BSB and flew. The mask, the scribes, and that was it. So not a great deal of stuff in it. I knew I was playing him the day before, and I was speaking to you, wasn't I? And it's like, oh yeah, I can lend you steam tanks. I have 2 steam tanks. I was like, oh yeah, good.
Yeah, because you're saying, oh, I've not really got Outworthy of the GT.
Yeah, all I got is pretty, like, again, Compt Empire. I mean, I knew that Tom and Darren would be using something
a bit
hard.
tasty.
So I gets home, starts messing about an army build. I'm like, you know what? Never used really wacky army. I was really disappointed. Never got a chance to use. The Eshin army you use with the Master Assassin and the Fellblade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Running around, hurting himself, but whacking people.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a really good army. I'd love to have used that. And then I started thinking, GT a few years ago, what were loads of people using that was just smashing people? 2 steam tanks and Carl Franz and a dragon. Take that.
Give it a go.
So I had that. I had 2 wizards with 4 scrolls. Some handgunners with Hocklands, 3 units of handgunners with Hocklands, and 3 detachments of bowmen.
That's about it.
And that was it. That was the lot. And it was brilliant.
You liked it?
Oh god, yeah. It's just mental. So we're deploying, and Darren just puts 3 units of horrors in the middle of the board with heralds in and whatnot. So I'm like, okay. 2 units of flash hounds on the flank. And we're playing breakthrough again. And I remember now, I got the Kill Most Expensive Unit card.
You randomise yours.
I just rolled a dice and gone, oh, bloody hell. That's not exactly easy. So I went first. I sort of went, bollocks to it. 5 steam points on both tanks. Off they went, 15 inches forward. Carl Franz was on my left flank, and Darren's flesh hounds were on his right flank. And my detachments just poked forward 8 inches, thinking, well, if they can get in the deployment zones, this is good.
Yeah.
Because it's horrors, unless you blast the steam tanks with the magic, probably shouldn't get across the board, especially if I can get into them. The flesh hounds, again, really can't come forward because Carl Franz, with his big hammer of death, will just go through them like they're not there. And that's pretty much what happened. His first turn, he moved backwards with the horrors. The flesh hounds didn't go anywhere. And he just went, bolt change, scroll, bolt change, scroll, bolt change, scroll. Flicking fire, dice. Flicking fire, more dice. Oh, you'll go then. Okay.
Charge.
So again, 5 steam points. No 6s. In we go.
2 tanks into 1 unit.
2 tanks into 1 unit, which he'd made the biggest fuck up in the world. Well, not the biggest fuck up in the world, but quite a big fuck up. He took the Herald out of the unit of 27, which was the most expensive, and put it into the other unit. So we had a unit on the left with a Herald in, a unit on the right with a Herald BSB in, and a big unit of them in the middle with no one in. That one will do.
Yeah, ram it.
Ram it, in it goes. 19 wounds. I can't remember how many hits I got, how many impact hits I got, but I did 19 wounds. He only saved 3. And I won the combat by 13.
How's your farm at ward working now?
Yeah, and he exploded quite spectacularly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was pissing myself.
Well, at this point, me and Tom were like still deployed.
You're not
I think
deployed.
Tom was just having his first turn, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And Tom was like, "Oh yeah, I heard him. I heard the first magic phase. It just went ball change, scroll, ball change, scroll, ball change, scroll."
Yeah, and then and that was pretty much it. So they went in, popped 1 unit. You know what? Steam tanks should be able to overrun.
No, they shouldn't.
Yeah, they
just all kind of
should.
wrongs and nasty.
That'd be great.
Only if you're using them.
Yeah. So anyway, so they sat there. In Darren's next turn, he shuffled the flesh hands a little bit, turned the horrors slightly, started magicking me, and to be honest, he got really. I knew I could stop him for a while, and then after that, I figured that's it. The tanks are going to go down, and he got really unlucky. He was. Don't think he got another bolt of change off at them, but he got a couple of flickering fires, and every time it's like 6/2. You know, the big, what's the boom? Gift of Chaos.
Gift of Chaos, yeah.
Getting that off, so it's the 2 units are doing it, and it's hitting both tanks. And again, 5, strength 1, and all that. So, he did 2 wounds to one steam tank and 1 wound to another steam tank in the whole game.
Not good.
Not good. So in my next turn, they both played it safe this time because one had already took a wound. I used 3 and 4 steam tanks. In they went. And I thought, that's fine. They'll sit there all game now. They don't even have to sit there all game. Sit there for 2 turns, not die.
Yeah.
And he's never getting across the board. And that's exactly what happened, really. The Hochlands and the handgunners killed the Mask, killed the Flying Herald, because he just flew them out to try and... I don't really know what he was trying to do, actually, because they were never going to get into the deployment zone.
No.
And they weren't really going to do a great deal else, because they kept the Fleshhounds back. And the other units were in combat. So I'm not entirely sure why he did that. In his next turn, he had to charge the detachments.
Yeah.
Because they were just making for a wood in his deployment zone, and if they'd have got in there, he'd have never caught them.
No, they'd have been gone, wouldn't they?
They'd have been gone, and it'd have been 80 points in his deployment zone. The Scribes killed the other unit, just called down a fireball or a lightning bolt or something, and killed all 5 of them. So he charged his Fleshhounds. 1 unit detachments ran. Karl Franz went in the flank of that one. Bloody hell, he's good. He's really good.
He's got the best weapon in the game.
You hit and you do D3 wounds.
Yeah.
Wicked.
That's it.
Not messing about. So we put 1 unit. I think that was turn 5 or 6. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to stop him getting that other unit of Fleshhounds in, because I only had one detachment left that could have gone into the deployment zone. So I had to stop that. So Karl Franz just flew over and stood in front of them at quite a jaunty little angle, so that he could, when he charged me in a line, he'd come running across my deployment zone.
Yeah.
And then shooting phase came. It's like, no shooting. You're not shooting the Fleshhounds. I'm like, no, because knowing me, I'll kill 5 or 6. Well, 5 or 6 of them. I'll do 5 or 6 wounds, and you'll be able to come past Karl Franz into my deployment zone. So no, I'm not shooting you. So he put the Fleshhounds in. And it's like, he puts them in, and then he says to me, "What armour saves Karl Franz got?"
Not a clue.
Oh, he's only got a full plate and a 4 award. Fuck. Might kill him here. He didn't. I made a couple of awards. I think I made an armour save and a ward save. I think he did a wound to him, and then he just whacked him with his big hammer.
Yeah.
Bosh, 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 bosh. Pop them.
Good stuff.
And that was it. But then in Darren's either 5th or 6th turn, he got another boom off, which caught my detachment because I'd been a bit lazy with them, and also forgot that you can cast from any horror.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll cast it, don't you?
yeah. So he caught them, and I think he only killed 1, but it meant they weren't scoring anymore. Oh no, did he kill 1? Did he kill? No, he couldn't. He must have killed more than 1, because otherwise they'd still count. It'd just be 20 points.
No,
they wouldn't, because it's less than 5, aren't they? No. So he might have killed 1. So in the end, it was 0-0, but I'd got my special mission.
So it's 400 to 0.
400 to 0.
There's a lot of that, wasn't there, the weekend?
There was a lot of 400 nils, yeah. Because I'd smashed my tanks into his horrors in the first turn, second turn. So yeah,
Ace.
400 nil.
So was that
Silly hammer.
Was that your last one?
That was it.
That was it. Well, I played another one.
Did you?
Believe it or not, yeah. Friday.
Of course you did, didn't you?
I played Luke.
Yeah.
So one of our listeners.
Can we do just one quick thing about Darren with his shit army and he's going to do shit?
Oh yeah.
Turns up Saturday morning at the GT with lizard men.
Well, he turns up with 2 armies and says to Tom, "Which one shall I use?" And Tom goes, "Fucking lizard men."
Did he bring the horrors as well?
Yeah. So he brought out a Slan and 80 skinks or something like that.
No, he had 2 engines.
2 Slan, 2 engines, 80 skinks.
Can't have had 80 skinks.
Yeah, he did. 80 skinks. And he went on for 4 wins and 2 draws in 9th place.
Can't have had 80 skinks.
Why? 60 points a unit. In fact, no, they're not. They're 50 or 70. Do the maths, dude. Slan's 400. Engines are 400 each. That's 1200.
Fair enough.
8 units, 100 points each. Is that right?
No, it's not right.
Of course it is.
So 1200 plus 1000 gives you...
No. 1200 plus 800.
Oh, okay.
8 units, about 100 points a unit.
Fair enough. I'd seen him play. I didn't think there was that many on the board. I also thought he had a unit of pterodons.
I don't know. He told me he got 80 skinks. And he did really well.
Yeah, he
9
did.
plays.
Yeah.
And Tom went on to finish 13th with his Dark Elves. I think he changed the 2 bolt throws to a
He
second
did.
Hydra.
Second Hydra, yeah.
I spoke to him on game 3, and he says first game they were useful. Second game he says nothing had helped. He says his dice were awful. He lost anyway, and I don't know about his other games. So, well, yeah, 13th place. So well done to them guys. But yeah, Friday afternoon I played against Luke McHugh, and
Luke McHugh.
it's what did he use? He used Andy Ishwood's army, didn't he? Pretty much copy and paste. Bloodthirster,
yeah, pretty
Jugger, Mask, Siren Herald,
much. Yeah.
Double Horrors,
Was it -2 leadership banner? I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember. Yeah.
all that leadership bomb, and obviously my Dark Elves are just built to beat that. He wanted to play,
Breakthrough.
another breakthrough. So I can't remember if we rolled for the scenarios or chose them. I think we rolled for them.
New special missions.
Yeah, the special missions. I ended up with, I can't remember, Woods. I think I ended up with Woods. He ended up with Kill My General, I think.
You know, we've been talking for over an hour and we're still on Fortnite Fantasy.
Yeah, and if you didn't keep interrupting, we'll be even further.
Fair enough. I just looked at the computer and went, whoa.
So yeah, by the by, whatever the scenarios was, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I'd deployed both units of Dark Riders really wide. He'd gone in the middle of most of his stuff, and you just couldn't get hold of the Dark Riders.
Again, Twitter.
Yeah, there's a couple of photos on Twitter. One of the guys who was there on the day came over and asked, says, "How'd you get on with the Dark Riders? Because they die easily." It's like, just leave them.
Yeah.
Just leave them in the corners, leave them miles away from everything. If they're there for 6 turns, chipping away and just keeping out of the way, you're going to win the games because they're scoring points, they're contesting table quarters, they're getting you objectives, and this is what they do. And as soon as he starts turning his attention to killing them, they scoot off 18 inches and they're hard to get. And
In any direction.
yeah. So they're really good. The Hydras, because it's breakthrough, the Hydras were awesome. They just run in front of units and take a couple of turns to die. And same with the Dragon, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then the Shades and the Dark Riders just shoot a unit a turn, kill a scoring unit a turn. And that's pretty much what happened against Luke. So yeah, I got a big win. I think I got 3 units of Dark Riders and a unit of Shades in his deployment zone. And he got nothing.
He was really worried about playing that sort of army, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's what he struggled against.
Yeah. But so he played 2 more games on the Friday night.
Did he really?
Played 3 games on the Friday, yeah.
They kicked them all out at 6 o'clock.
I must have only played 2 then.
Yeah,
No, because we got there dead early. I was there really early Friday.
Oh, right.
I'm sure he played 2 more. He said he played Kairos Army.
Oh.
I think he played Triss with Bloodthirster as well. Well, I can't remember. But I know Saturday morning, first game was against Dark Elves.
Yeah.
And he texted me first thing and said, "Oh, I've got Dark Elves."
Yeah.
And then he texted later and said, "I've won.
Yeah, he used his Woods card as well, which I was giving him stick for first game.
Using the best one in the first game.
Yeah.
But it paid off because he beat the Dark Elves.
I don't think he needed the card,
Oh, right, fair enough.
to be honest.
And then the second game he went on and played Kairos, didn't he?
Yeah, and beat
Beat
that.
Kairos as well.
Yeah.
And then third game.
Third game.
I turned up to Warren because I'd been working on the Saturday.
Well, I was there all day, obviously, and after the first game, it was lunch, and I was chatting to him, and he was buzzing. He was dead happy to have beaten the Dark Elves, because, like I say, again, he'd played that a few times and been struggling with it. So he beat that, and like I say, beat the Kairos, and then you turns up, and he's playing.
Playing his mate, Adam Jones.
Adam Jones, tanker off the forums.
And both the armies on the table are Luke's.
Yeah.
So it's Luke's Empire against Luke's Demons, which he's using.
Yeah.
And I pulled up a chair,
Yeah,
sat at
you
the end
did,
of the
didn't
table
you?
because they're on the end of a row. I was like, I'm watching you two. So I think Luke won the roll for first turn and decided to take it. He fanned it about for a little bit, sort of moving things here and there. And he's like, you know what? Stuff this, straightforward of everything. So he sticks his Bloodthirster out, and then he just sort of shoves his mask forward, and Adam's eyes sort of light up, didn't say out.
Yeah.
And then Luke's go, so like straight away, Simon Song them. So Simon Song's a unit of knights into a fiend and a herald. And then Adam goes, right, Margot, chargers, yeah, okay. We'll have the steam tank first, 4 points, charging the mask. And then because that's out of the way, the Archlector can charge the Bloodthirster. And Luke just, his hands went to his head, and he's like, no. And the Archlector went straight in, Thanos Speculum, and I think he had, I don't know what, he didn't have nothing on him, it was just
I don't
cheap.
think he's got anything.
And he just went to the Archlector on the back, turned into a mighty Bloodthirster, and smashed the other Bloodthirster to absolute little pieces. Blew him apart and went straight through into Union Flesh Hounds behind. And at this point, I was like, "See you, boys. I've seen enough." Apparently, the Corn Herald at the Flesh Hound unit killing blowed the Archlector the next round. But I think it was downhill from then. There was too much damage done.
Yeah.
Bloodthirster had gone. Cannons were free to shoot at stuff, and yeah, it was all bad.
Yeah.
So it ended up with Adam winning that one. Well, yeah, it did make me laugh. Now, another thing that happened in that third game, table one, there was Fabian Quinn
Yeah.
playing against, I don't know the guy's name, it was Demon Army. I came to the table and it was the fog of war, so they were drawing a map.
Yeah.
The Vampire Army had already set up, and it had set up like on an A4 sheet size of paper just in the middle of the board.
Well, Fabian played on table one
Yeah.
most of the weekend actually, and pretty much deployed the same way for
3
Tom
units of ghouls,
and the fun bus.
4 characters, and then the rest of the points were in Blood Knights.
Yeah.
And all the characters go in the Blood Knights. One of them was on foot behind him.
Two of
just with 2 of them on foot,
Two on
was it?
foot, yeah.
Okay.
Got Manfred and a White King.
But the funny thing was the guy who's playing against had drawn his army out, and there was a 6 foot before table, a foot from one side was a hill, a foot from the other side was a wood. And on his drawing, he'd drawn the hill, he'd drawn the wood, then he'd drawn a long line of demon units in between these 2 terrain pieces. But then when he actually got his map on the table and started trying to lay them down, it went from table edge to table edge. He had 4 units of Flesh Hounds, he had his 3 core units, 2 units of 6 Flamers and some Furies. And it just filled the whole table, and he couldn't fit it all on into where he'd drawn. So he ended up with stuff like Flesh Hounds behind this rocky ground where he didn't really want. But he'd drawn them side by side over units, and it was just I was laughing so much. But
so many people as well just threw units into that fun bus, and they just bounce off.
yeah, it eats them. Absolutely,
It just
eats them.
destroys them.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Luke, because I know he listens.
Yeah.
So Luke gets smashed by Adam, proper smashed, and then obviously it's Saturday night. So we spent all Saturday night taking the piss out of him, basically. It was great fun.
It's not very nice.
It was wicked.
Yeah, he did bring it on himself though, putting the Bloodthirster in charge
that
range of
was
the
just
Archlector.
terrible.
And
But then he sort of pulled it back to a certain extent. He went
got
on
2 more
Saturday,
wins,
he went on
didn't he?
Sunday, got 2 more wins, and then on Sunday game 6 he was playing on table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
something like that, wasn't
6, table 6 he was playing on. And again, you know, he said to me, "Oh, on table 6." He says, "Well, you know, big win here, and you never know, you can go in with a trophy." Because it was very strange. The way it had worked out was that nobody was on 5 wins going into the last game, which really shouldn't work.
it? No, I've never seen that before.
I think there was either 7 or 8 people going into the last round on 4 wins and a draw,
Yeah.
which again it just shouldn't happen, but it did. So I said to Luke, you know, Oak could happen. You know, get a load more draws or a few minor wins. If you can get a good win, you could get a trophy. So he gets his vampire army, and the guy's got 2 flying characters on horses, which I didn't know you could do.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. And Ghoulkin. So it all goes forward. Lord flies out with his Dreadlance. Is it Dreadlance? Dreadlance, Red Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah, flies out with that. Charges a Fiend. And when he did that, I was like, Luke can smash him here. Absolutely smash him. Siren Song out. When he's killed the Fiend, Bloodthirster down next to it. Come here, boy. Bosh, bosh, bosh. But then he also had the BSB, which he managed to van hours into the flank of the Demonette unit with Siren Song in. And Luke had just left it on the end. So
Yeah.
BSB killed that. But even then, he could have flew the Bloodthirster over, got the Furies in the back of the Vampire Lord and the Mask, challenged the Mask, dodge and weave a bit, pin him there, and the Bloodthirster gets in and smashes him. But
Luke didn't see it.
No. Bloodthirster went completely opposite direction, fighting some ghouls.
Did you take him outside and slap him back a bit afterwards?
I had a word. I said, "What are you playing at?" Silly Billy.
Yeah. Yeah, the chance for a trophy then.
Ah, well.
Looking at the results, well, we'll have a quick run down of the results. First place, Chris Tamplin.
Yeah.
Done good.
Done good.
Another,
I
another
watched.
first place. He's had a few this year.
I watched the last game, and you know, he didn't make any mistakes. He Funny story about Chris Tamplin. Should I tell that now?
Yeah, go on.
Right, okay. So, I think it was game 3 on Saturday. Chris was drawn against one of his Clapham teammates. I'm not sure who that was. And they'd asked about swapping, and there was no swapping after the first round. So they played each other, and they came up to the stage afterwards. I think Chris had got a small win, and they're all happy and jolly. Playing your mate, it's always quite fun. But they both ticked the difficult opponent box. Having a bit of fun. I think one of them had super glued Chris's dice together, so he ticked the box. So his mate, I've ticked the box as well. And I made a bit of a joke saying, you tick the box, lose a tournament point. Thought no more of it. Anyway, Sunday comes. Obviously, Chris is on table 1 and just got a massive win. And he's like, did you really lose a tournament point for difficult opponent box? I says, yeah. But we were only joking. I says, well, don't know what to tell you. You both tick the box. It's been entered now. Oh no, but we were. I says, well, you better go get your opponent, haven't you? So he comes back 5 minutes later with his mate, and they're both like, oh no, we're only playing. I said, well, look, guys, you've ticked the box. We've entered it. There's nothing we can do. Chris's face drops. I can't believe you've cost me this, to his mate, and walks off. And then another one of them comes on again. Sorry, can't remember your name. And he's like, Ben, are you serious? And I'd spoke to him earlier on in the weekend, and he's on about the podcast and stuff. And he comes and says, are you serious? Are you really docking them a point? I said, look, mate, they've filled the box. It's like, they were playing. They were only messing about. They were only messing about. You can't do that. And at that point, I just couldn't keep a straight face anymore. He's like, you bastard. I says, dude, don't tell Chris. Don't tell Chris. It'd be great when if he thinks he's lost it on that, and if he wins it, or if he places, or thought that'd be brilliant. But I think they must have told him.
Yeah.
I think they must have told him. But yeah, it was ever so funny. I like little things like
Excellent.
that. And also as well, asking people for £1 when they want a tray. I could have made an absolute fortune Sunday morning.
Did they believe you?
Hung over people coming in. All the trays are piled on the stage. Can I have a tray, please? £1, mate. Put it in the cup. Oh, okay. In the pocket they go.
There you go. I'm joking.
Dude, I'm kidding. Oh, sorry. And wander off. Oh dear.
Excellent.
Fun times.
So, yeah, Chris Tamplin won it. First place overall.
Congratulations,
well done to him.
Chris.
Second place, Martin Murrin. Like you said earlier, good vampire army.
Very good vampire
Played
army.
it well,
yeah.
and snatched second place.
Played it well and paid attention. He's made a geek sheet for himself.
What do you mean?
It's an A4 bit of paper. It's got places to put all his spells, places to put all his opponent's spells, little boxes that he ticks when it's his turn, when it's his opponent's turn.
And there's one sheet for each game.
There's one sheet for each game. Make sure that he's paying attention, make sure that he's concentrating.
Yeah.
I walked past his table a few times as well. He's got there's a bit of space at the bottom, and against one game he's just written in big letters, Ring of Hotek. One dice raise. Because he's a big believer in the 2 dice raise.
Yeah.
But against the ring he was 1 dice raising.
Yeah.
Which, again, little things like that, keep your concentration, makes a difference.
Yeah, of course it does. So third place, Owen Bell.
Yep, congratulations,
I read a rumour that Owen was using Kairos.
Owen did indeed use Kairos.
Man, doesn't can.
Well, some
I
say
suppose
that.
it does.
Some say that if about using Dark Elves.
Yeah,
so
it's still up there, third place.
Yeah.
Against all the other Kairoses as well.
I think he's probably a bit gutted as well because in his first game he wiped his opponent out, but only got a draw.
Oh man, how did he manage that?
Because he didn't get any scoring units in his
Neither
opponent's
of them
opponent
did.
zone. No,
Oh, crap.
it was. I think they both got the special mission, so it was 400.
Oh, does it not say in the?
Nope.
It used to, didn't it?
I think it used
If
to.
you wipe them out, you get the win.
I think it used to.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. But yeah, he'd been the only. Well, he might have played someone different. On
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah. That would have altered his draw.
Yeah.
Entirely,
So I mean, the three of them were all on 160 points. So it's 5 wins and 1 draw. Funnily enough, Owen drew the first game, and the other 2 guys drew the second game, and then after that it was smash.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done to the winners. Now best army. Eddie Eccles.
Yeah.
Now I popped in on the Saturday and I saw Eddie, and I know him from last year and a couple of other events, and I saw his Lisbon army, and it's just gorgeous. I was sat there for about an hour taking photos of it. So if you want to check the photos of that out, you can see them on Facebook. Facebook.com/bad dice, and there's an album on my photos saying Heat 3 pictures or something like that.
It's an Amazon army, isn't it?
Yeah. So the view is used plastic demonettes, done dark-skinned Amazon women with blowpipes and stuff like that. Some of them with javelins. He's got a giant with steg bits all over it, and it's just a fantastic army. Have a look at it.
Yeah,
You'll believe
nice.
it. Croc Skull carrying the slant. I love that.
And it's
Anything
used
else?
the limited edition Forge World one as well, which you can pick up for about £50 on eBay.
Yeah.
But if I was going to do a Lisbon, in fact, I was doing a Lisbon army. That was the slant I was trying to get hold of.
Yeah.
It's got so much character. It's like a thin down Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's brilliant. Really, really good. I like it. So I think that's it for the GT. Anything more in Fortnite and Fantasy? You done anything else? You done any painting?
No, I'm not painting anything. I've just been playing.
No, I've done a bit of building. I've not done any painting.
Oh, tell a lie. No, I've
Go on
done
then.
some building too. I built 10 crossbowmen.
Oh yeah, for the Empire.
I'm very impressed with the Empire plastics as well.
Yeah.
That crossbow kit is lovely. One small complaint, I think you only get like 8 feathered heads.
All right, you'd want the full unit of feathers.
I like the feathers.
Fair enough. Well, I got some Tomb King bits, so I've stuck together a scorpion, which everyone was saying how bad it was for the scorpions. I didn't have a problem with it.
What?
You got a body,
Yeah.
you got 2 arms,
Yeah.
you've got a tail,
Yeah.
and then you've got 8 legs. Now I pinned everything, and I've got my Dremel. So first thing I did, I got the body, and there was
8 holes.
11.
Yeah.
So the 2 claws, 8
Yeah.
legs, and a tail.
I
11 holes.
pinned mine for my Tomb King years and years ago, and I did it with pin vise, and that was horrible.
Now, the scorpion I thought was easy. Like I say, use my Dremel,
Yeah.
drill, easy. The catapult. It's sort of semi-assembled, and it's just on my painting table at the minute. It's a nightmare.
There's a lot of bits, isn't there?
There's a lot of bits. It doesn't seem to want to go together.
No.
And it's just, I don't know. And there's nothing to pin it to because there's like pegs that go in holes, and it's just, it's crap. So I might not have no screaming skull catapults in my army.
Yeah, you will.
I might have to pay someone to stick them together for me, like I paid someone to paint the army.
I've got stuck together one in the box over there.
I'll swap you for one that's not stuck together,
No.
and I'll give you some money too.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's my Fortnite fantasy, all hour and a half of it. So we're going to have a short break, and after the break we'll come back and we're going to talk about some of the other tournaments that went on this weekend and the results from them. If you just can't get enough for the Bad Dice podcast, we have just the thing for you. Head over to www.baddice.co.uk and aim for the Snake Eyes section. It costs you just £5 a year, and for your money you get access to the bonus content we record of every episode. We have our own forums where you can speak to the hosts of the show. You can also chat with the guests and the regulars from the podcast. You'll also get access to members only contests and discount off the Bad Dice merchandise. So if you want to support the podcast and help us make the show better for you guys, get yourself signed up for the Snake Eyes section today. Right, what we're going to talk about now is tournament results from this weekend, because there's quite a few.
It was the Super Sunday for tournaments, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I twittered it, and there's a new feature on Twitter which is lists. So basically you can add users to a list. So I made a list called The Big Weekend. Then I added myself, I added Dan Heelan, I added Neil Peckett, Chris Fitzsimmons. I think there's a couple of others that were twittering from the events.
Yeah.
And then other people can log on to my list and see every tweet from the people that have been added to my list. So basically you
Isn't
can...
technology fun?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I made a list from all the people at events this weekend, and other people could follow that list and see people at the event and see how they're getting on. Obviously, there's loads. Fitz did a load.
Yeah.
Dan did a couple. You did hardly any.
I
Bit
did
rubbish.
loads.
Bit rubbish, letting the listeners down.
Shut up. I was busy.
And
We were man down, man.
in the grim north of Middlesbrough, there was very little coming out. So yeah, but it's getting there. More people are getting onto the fact that you Twitter from events and keep people up to date.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the more the merrier with that. So yeah, add us on Twitter. It's baddice_podcast. Just do a search for us, or go to baddice.co.uk/Twitter and you can get us on there. Anyway, back to the events. So Teesside this weekend. I won this last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to go back to defend my trophy.
This is when we were up till 5 in the morning with Abdul, wasn't it?
Yeah. So bit disappointed that I didn't go back, but I've just done that many events recently that I wasn't that fussed. If I'd have crashed and burned at the GTA and I needed some Masters points, I might have.
You'd have been
made
there
an
in a
effort.
second.
Yeah, of course I would. Oh, of course I would. Definitely. I want to be at the Masters at the end of the day.
Rankings whore.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't deny it. I would. Yeah, I wouldn't be impressed if I'd missed the Masters just because I couldn't be asked to go to an event. So, but Teesside, so it was no comp, 2,300 points. So it's quite. That was the other thing. I really fancied that because it's all guns blaring. No one can really complain because you've all been told.
They will.
Yeah, well, you've all been told it's no comp.
Doesn't
And by the
matter.
reports from the tournament, there was not a lot. I've not seen a single complaint about the armies because everyone knew it was filth.
To be honest, having looked at some of the reports and some of the armies that have been posted, I didn't think they were that bad.
Well, Ant Spears was first place.
Well
So
done,
well done
Ant.
to Ant. He embraced it for all it's worth.
Did
Double
he?
rending style assassins. But still not as bad as I thought his army wasn't as bad as it could be. He had the Turbo Lord with the pendant on a steed and the whatever.
Is he
he
still
used
trying
on-
to sell
yeah.
that?
Blackguard unit,
Mate, obviously
Cauldron
worked, didn't
Blood, couple of bits and bobs. Yeah, and he was first place. So second place, Tom Hall.
it? What will that do for his rankings? Eh?
I'm not sure yet because it's not been updated. But obviously he was struggling for points.
It was, yeah.
And there's only one way to sort of secure it, isn't there? It's to
Yeah.
go and smash everyone.
Yeah.
And he's done as much as he can. Now it's just he has to wait and see what others have done at other events. Tom Hall also not far off of Rankin's place. He went and got a second. So well
He's
done
going to have
to
my
Tom.
rankings place.
Yeah. I think Tom had a similar army to Ant with Dark Elf Lord, Blackguard and all that. Third place, David Greenwood with Lisman. I don't know David, so
Not a clue who that
I
is,
can't
no.
comment on who he is or what club he's attached to. I've got a feeling it might be another Warlord, but I'm not sure. Fourth was Rob Downey, ever the bridesmaid. He did text me and
Yeah.
say it looks like I'm going to be fourth.
Pushing a bloodthirster about.
Yeah. Best painted army and best sports, Martin Unsworth with Empire. So not Empire, sorry, Warriors of Chaos. So well done to Martin.
Oh, that'll be his big Rackham type stuff. won't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I thought that was Dean's army.
Oh,
You don't know then, do you?
no, I don't know.
No. And they also give an award out for unique army, which I assume was judged on the build rather than the
My army's unique. It's got 12 flamers instead of 10.
well, I think Trev went for the Old Blood Saurus, Old Blood Lizardman, and he'd got given unique build.
Carnosaur?
I really don't know. I just know he had an Old Blood. And so that was Teesside. So well done to them guys. 36 players, so not a bad turnout.
No. Was that the same venue, the Student Union?
Yep, good venue.
Good venue,
Great
that,
venue
isn't
last
it?
year. The only downside was they had to be out for the Saturday night, didn't they?
Yeah. Because was
so
it
it's
roller disco
Yeah.
on the Saturday night?
Yeah. But it was good last year. We had a grand
Oh,
old
I had a
time.
really
We've
good
been
time,
back again since for one day, haven't
Yeah.
we? Just saying that in
Yeah.
the break. The one that you won in.
Yeah, me one
March.
win of the year.
So that's Teesside. Now the other one that was running this weekend was Total War down at. There's a war games show in
Yeah.
Reading, and this was part of the event with all sorts of trade stands and that, and then there's a war tournament.
Yeah,
I think there might have been other game systems as well.
Odd Games was there, weren't they?
Yeah, Odd Games had a stand. He says it went really well, sold a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, first place, Chris Legg, Demons of Chaos. Now, this one, from one extreme to the other, instead of being a filth tournament, this was supposed to be comped, but it's subjective comp, and apparently Leggy's army slipped through just a little bit. He had
Well,
the Thirster. All he had to do was drop rerolls off the Thirster, but everything else was standard. Silent Song, Banner of Despair, all the rest. So a bit rough letting that through. Second place, Jack Armstrong. Now he's coming from nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second place, or was it, yeah, second at the GT.
Second at the GT,
second
second,
at Total War, two in a
yeah.
row. Back to back weekends as well. It was 2 weeks apart, something
2 weeks
like that.
apart, yeah.
So well done to Jack for that. Now, Jack played Leggy in the last game and beat him. But Leggy was that far ahead with his 420-0 wins
With his 4 chum bashings.
before he met Jack that it didn't matter. He needed 3 points out of the game to win or something.
Oh.
And he lost 11-9 or something like that, I don't know. But I know he lost the last game. Third place, Andreas Lucan, German fella, came over and brought a Dark Elf army. Sort of what I was told his build was Suicide Elves, but what weren't really suicide. So I think it was Infantry Dark House with
Suicide Elves that had woken up on the right side of the
yeah.
bed.
Infantry Dark House with no magic, but he had cauldrons and assassins and stuff like that.
Okay.
Quite fighty. Best Army, Dan
That's-
Heelan again.
Yeah.
No surprises there.
I'm a bit bored of that, I've got to be honest.
Well, to be fair, Russ has had a few off him this
Do you
year.
listen to Healing Hammer? Oh yeah, I won best painted. Oh, I won
To be
best
fair,
painted.
it's you that's normally like that as well.
Yeah,
If it was last year when we was doing the podcast.
Yeah,
So, like I say,
true.
well done to Dan for his Best Army award.
I'd like to know how many he's won.
I'm sure they'll tell you.
Well, fair play. So
Yeah.
beautiful army.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see any mention of Best Sports, so I don't know if there was one.
No.
But I didn't see that mentioned at all. So that's the tournaments over the weekend. Now, there was a couple of one-days as well, which I'm still waiting for the results on. We'll cover them when we get them in.
Yeah.
But while we're on the subject of tournaments, we're going to just have a quick look at this Bristol Brawl, what Ian, who's sponsored the episode, has asked us to talk about. And to be fair, I think I'd talked about it anyway, because I quite like it.
Does that say no comp?
Yes, 1,200 points, no comp. You played 10 games over the weekend. Now, the idea is you're drawn against 5 different opponents. So your
Yeah.
first game, you come to the table, and it's army swap in every game, but you play twice. So each round, there's 5 rounds, each round you play twice. So first you play with your opponent's army, and then you play with your own. I think that's how they're doing it at the ETC.
That's a good way of doing it.
Because then if you bring a soft army,
Yeah.
but you've got some tricks, your opponent don't get to see your tricks and then use them back on you.
Yeah.
So you have to pick up your opponent's army first and then use your own. Obviously, it's open lists because you both got to use the armies first. But that's pretty much it. 5 rounds, 20 a game. So it's 40 points per round, and whoever's on the most points at the end of the weekend wins. So if you've won that tournament, it's because you're good.
Yeah.
It's not a case of filthy army or anything like
No.
that, because you've had to beat your own army and you've had to use other people's. You know what I mean? You had to beat other people and beat your own. I like it. In fact, if it's on the 5th and 6th of June, and I'm thinking of entering.
Yeah, I've got a few ideas myself.
Yeah. All the thing. I mean, I'd be tempted of entering with. I'd go with Dark House, but it was something a bit left field and unusual. But yeah, the things you could do, you know what I mean? You could take something shockingly bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely shockingly bad. Like Beastmen. I mean, they're changing the bulk, but you could do something like, all Goblin Army, which is shit. And when your opponent gets it, he's like, what the fuck do I do with all this? And then you just kill it with their army. And then when you get to use it, you're like, this is what you do with it. You stick half of it in that corner, half of it in that corner. You can only kill half of it, so I'm going to win. Or, you know what I mean? Something ridiculous. There's a lot of options, a lot of scope for different stuff.
Quite
But
like that.
I really fancy it. And also, they're doing that in the two-day ETC side event on the Thursday and Friday before the main event.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that, because then it's 250 using the same sort of comp.
No, it's not. Not at the ETC. It's not.
The ETC it is, yeah.
1500.
Oh, sorry, is it 1500?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
You'd never get the games in.
Oh no, of course you wouldn't. Of course
If
you
you
wouldn't.
played it at 250, you'd never finish.
No. So, but yeah, this one Ian's running. So it's the Bristol Brawl by the Bristol Biggins. You can find more details about it on the Warhammer forum. That's warhammer.org.uk. I'll put a link to the Bristol Brawl thread in the show notes. 18 quid. It's 5th and 6th of June in Iron Acton, which is just outside of Bristol.
No, having never been to the Bristol Brawl, do you get anything else for your 18 quid?
Right.
Food, like that?
Don't know. Waffle for a minute and I'll have a look.
Waffle.
Nah, I know they're giving out all the normal prizes of like first, second, third, best painted. I did have a look at the rules pack and they've got quite a funky scoring system for the painting, quite in depth and detailed.
Oh right, okay.
So they've obviously.
So there's painting scores. I
Yeah,
thought.
painting
I
scores
thought you
and
said
stuff.
there was. It was just gaming. Okay.
No, there's painting scores and stuff included as well. Let me just have a look. Here it is, Bristol Brawl. Up it comes. Okay, it doesn't say anything about food.
No.
Rules pack. Already there's 20 people entered.
Is there?
Yeah. Nah, what we've got here.
Well, I tell you what, then you might have to be quite quick because
Yeah.
it's not the massive. It's not normally a huge event, is it? I don't think they have the room, do they?
No. I think about.
Hang on. Is that right?
I think there's about 40
9
odd
till
players.
12 game 1.
What are you on about?
So you only get 3 hours to play 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,200 points. Yeah, you should be fine
You
with
should
that,
have to
shouldn't
do
you?
it quick. So there's 3 games on the Saturday, 2 games on the Sunday. You can leave your figures in the hall overnight. There's like the local hotel stroke pub is where they all congregate. It doesn't say anything about food included, but there's first, second, third place, best sports, best army. Army listening by the 5th of May, so a month before. That's interesting. It also says they strongly recommend.
Are they going to publish them? Is that why they want them so early? Because obviously people, it's open list and people are using unexpected armies. Is that why? Maybe?
I don't know. No, it says they strongly recommend you create a quick reference sheet for your opponent. Basically, print your army list out on Army Builder because that's all you need.
Yeah.
So things you need to bring with you, all the normal stuff in there. Victory point system is just out of the rule book.
Yeah.
It's 20-0 system. Obviously, because it's saying 1,200 points, you only need 200 points for a win.
Yeah.
Or 1,000 points for massacre. Painting, 0 to 6 for basing, 4 to 12 for technical detailing. So I assume this is different levels of detail on the models. WYSIWYG, you get an extra 4. An extra 4 for banners painted in different styles, 0, 2 or 4. An extra 0 to 4 for conversions, and an extra 0 to 6 for WoW.
Don't like that.
Why not?
Because look at it.
Too much involved.
There's too much involved. It's too easy to make mistakes, and people go away disappointed.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's got a big list of all the different accommodations.
That's very good.
Quite a good rules pack actually. Address and postcode and all that, and how to get there. So yeah, done a good job to be fair.
Go back to the entry list on TWF.
Bristol Brawl sounds good to me actually.
Oh God, there's 22 people.
22 people already. You know what? I reckon there's going to be 24 by the end of the night.
Yeah, you might be right.
I quite fancy that. You think Chris Legg will get found out? Look, he's in already.
Oh, he
now
won't.
He's got to play with soft armies.
He won't go. June as well. It's kind of empty period as well.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So, like I say, 22 already. 24 by the time you read this.
Yeah.
And get yourself entered. Apparently, it's a good event. You get good feedback from it every year.
We entered it last year, didn't we? And we pulled out because of
too many events.
The same weekend as the Four Nations. Or was it very close to the Four Nations? I think was why we.
I think what it ended up being was Merseyside, GT Final, and Sheffield, all sort of weekend after the other, and this one would have been because it was March last year.
Oh, was it? That might have been it. Yeah, that might have been it.
It's usually very close to my birthday as well. Whereas it moving to June, I'm into that. I reckon I'm going to go. Although Ian will just say, "Yeah, I've heard it all before." You always say that. They do 2 a year as well.
Yeah.
There'll be one there, and there'll be one in October. The October one, I think they usually do a bit more fun and games rather than tournament focused. I think it was doubles on this time. But yeah, keep a lookout for that. Bristol Brawl. We'll put it on the show notes. Have a look for the thread on TWF, and all the details are in there. So yeah, get your entries in. Well, I think that's about it for this episode. So we're gonna have another short break, and then we'll come back with a wrap up. Are you an event organiser? Or do you run a gaming club? Or do you just want to shout out your mates on the podcast? Head on over to baddice.co.uk and go to the Sponsor Us section of the website. Click the donate button, and for just £5 you can dedicate an episode to whatever you like. Sponsoring an episode helps us make the podcast better for you guys. So what are you waiting for? Get yourself over to baddice.co.uk and sponsor an episode today. So that's another show in the bag.
Yeah.
And we've just got a few things to cover before we sign off. So first off, we've got thanks to our sponsors. So there's Ian Scovell, the episode sponsor, who wanted to give us a shout about his Bristol Big Uns tournament. And then there's Odd Games and Irresistible Force, our permanent show sponsors. Don't forget about competition running with Odd Games.
Yeah.
So sign up to the Snake House section. Costs you just £5 for now. It's going to be going up to £10 after Christmas. So you've got about a month and a half to get in there. So get in now, get in cheap, and you get entered into the competition to win Chaos in the Old World. After Christmas it'll be a tenner. So yeah, sign up now while you still can. We've got an interview we did with Russ Veal, the winner of the Best Painted Army at Heat 2. We've got that just by the time you hear this, that'll be uploaded. We've got about 10 hours worth of stuff on there, I think.
Maybe, I bet there is.
Yeah. Events with stuff we did at Warrington. We recorded
the stuff we did at the first Masters.
Yeah, all the way back then.
And there'll be a lot going up for this year.
Yeah, so this year's Masters we're going to stick loads up.
Yeah.
We're also hoping, no promises yet because I've still got to figure stuff out, but hoping to do a live show from the Masters this year. So I can't see why we couldn't, but it depends on internet access at the venue. We need to sort that out. So keep an eye out for that. But certainly there's going to be loads of stuff on the bonus content about this year's Masters. The podcasting tack will be there all day, so people will be coming and telling us all sorts of stuff. Other things, check out Facebook. We've got a fan page on Facebook which is going down a storm. We've got 200 people.
200 people?
Nearly 200
Wicked.
people. It's like 170 at the minute. Already fans of the Bad Dash podcast. You remember the last episode I said I want 200 by Christmas?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gone mental. And I think it helps that I've been spamming it. So all the time, been on there. Loads of photos gone up. Loads of photos from this weekend's GT. All sorts of stuff on there. So get yourself on. It's facebook.com/Bad Dice. And you can also, if you search for Bad Dice, you can find the group, which there's some stuff in the group, but don't really use that much. It's mainly the fan page. And you can also find me and Ben. We're both on here. Ben Curry and Ben Johnson.
Yep.
What else, dude?
Twitter.
Oh yeah, Twitter. We're loving the Twitter at the minute. Linked to Facebook as well, so
it's
all part of the social networking, Web 2.0 and all that. Hotels. So I'll tell you what we do want to talk about.
Goblin.
Yeah.
The Goblin that Luke painted for us.
There's that, yeah. Luke's painted a Goblin. Now, I've been struggling to take photos of it because I'm getting home from work and it's dark. I've been out all weekend. So I'm going to get photos up soon. But as soon as I've got photos up, you can go to baddice.co.uk/goblin and you can see the photos of it. Now, it's a really beautiful figure. We're going to be selling tickets for it for £1 each. We're going to probably draw them at the Masters, I think.
I think so now, yeah, because we've just not been able to photograph it, have we?
Probably draw them at the Masters. So if you want to buy a ticket for £1, you can win this Goblin. It's fantastic painted. Hell, if you don't like Goblins, buy a ticket for £1 and then eBay it. You know what I mean?
Just buy a ticket for £1.
The idea is
help us pay for the Masters.
Yeah, Luke's done it to help support the show, help us pay for the Masters. Bit of news on that actually. Marcus Pitt has chucked some money into the Masters.
Yes.
He's the guy who runs the Merseyside Meltdown, so thanks to Marcus for that.
Yeah, it's much appreciated.
He's budgeted for it while he's been doing his budget for the tournament to get a bit of money to help out with the Masters. So yeah, Marcus will be feeding you at the Masters, feeding the players at the Masters.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot to him. The other thing, Podhammer. Right. Last Podhammer episode, Jeff Carroll was giving us some stick. Okay?
Yes.
Did you listen?
I did, yes.
He was giving us some stick, giving it all big bollocks, trying to give the smack talk. Right. What I've got to say to Jeff Carroll is, I've got a fucking Throne of Schools trophy. When you can get one of them, you come back and talk to me. Until then, suck my balls. So thanks for listening, Jeff. And I'm sure I'll be hearing from you in a short time.
Yeah.
I think on that note.
Yeah, I think that was probably about it.
Yeah. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll have a new next episode 24 after the Destruction Derby, and we'll also have a Masters special shortly after that.
Yes.
So yeah, catch you later. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by Ben and Ben Productions. If you actually enjoyed the show and feel the need to tell other people about it, you can leave a positive review on iTunes. You can contact both your hosts at thebens@baddice.co.uk, or you can contact us individually on Ben Curry at baddice.co.uk or Ben Johnson at baddice.co.uk. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Bad Dice Podcast. Okay, so there's two seagulls sat on a perch. One turns to the other and says, "Do you smell something fishy?"
It's not even.
It was sent in by a listener though, so thanks a lot.